Martin asked, when working with multiple companies in the same niche, do you take on clients where content marketing would create direct competition, or do you adjust your strategy, for example, by focusing only on bottom funnel content to avoid overlap? So this is something that we actually face a lot, Martin. It's a good question, where we take on or are pitching clients, that are both in the Miami or South Florida area, and they both do personal injury law. So there's a number of ways that we tackle this. One, again, from a sales point of view, is that if they ask for area exclusivity, we'll give it to them, but we just make them pay a pretty large premium for that. So we charge more if they want, I only want to be the DUI attorney in Miami on our client roster. That's fine. We put it in the contract, but we charge them almost 2x for that right and that privilege. Now, what I'll tell them otherwise, I'll say, look, if you don't want to pay that, then what we can do is we can give you practice area or sub practice area exclusivity, right? So if we have two personal injury attorneys in Miami, personal injury is a pretty broad term. That personal injury is one part of law. There's divorce law, there's family law, there's business law, there's bankruptcy law, there's tax law. There's all sorts of different areas of law. Each one of those areas of law has a sub practice area list that we can focus on. So personal injury, for example, is probably one of our biggest practice areas that we have on our client roster. We'll say, okay, we can give you car accident, we can give you trucking accident, we can give you slip and fall exclusivity, where that's going to be the primary focus of our campaign. Organic SEO content, everything within that. But we might be working with other personal injury attorneys, but we give you that practice area and we don't charge for that. We don't charge extra for that. So, also at a national level, Martin, this is something I get asked a lot, because inside of the Blueprint training, I teach everyone templates, templates, process, automation, AI, everything. Because when you use templates, it allows you to essentially use AI or bring in people to speed up and automate a lot of the process. So I teach and coach that quite a bit. And something I get asked a lot is that, we have a content roadmap that, when I'm pitching attorneys, I already know what content I'm going to build for them for the next year, because it's already done. It was already written. We already have literally a workbook that has all the content topics already identified. So we don't do keyword research, almost never, because we've already done it before. Now you might say, well, okay, but what about if it's a national campaign, or even if it's a local campaign? Are you creating the same content twice? How do you know how to prioritize that? And that's where, again, we adjust our strategy. Like you said, we tend to focus significantly on bottom funnel traffic. If we were to look up, let's see here, content marketing funnel, maybe we can look this up, right? So a traditional funnel, right, it goes top, we'll look at SEMrush here, top down, right? Top funnel, mid funnel, bottom funnel. Top funnel is going to be where a lot of agencies actually start, because it's far less competitive. That's going to be like blog content, resource content. We flip this upside down and we focus almost exclusively on bottom funnel content. The reason being is because top funnel content, in our experience, right, if we take something like what to do after car accident, we take something like that, after the ads, one, what we see here is that AI is already kind of cannibalizing it. Two, this little knowledge graph here. So not nearly as many people are actually pathing to this. And we see this in our data. We'll see rankings, but we don't see the traffic and conversions coming through. So we just kind of got to the point where we're like, why are we spending so much time and money and resource on building all this top funnel content that doesn't drive any conversion? So we focus almost exclusively on bottom funnel content. We still do blog content, yes, but the scope of it is much less. So to answer your question, Martin, we're just not creating nearly as much top funnel content where there's as much overlap. Is there overlap sometimes? Absolutely. But because we work with attorneys who are barred in a certain state, right? We could do what to do after a car accident in Georgia, what to do after a car accident in Florida, right? You can see already these things popping up in Texas, right? So there's ways that we can maneuver it, manipulate it, so it's not an overlap with a previous client. So I don't know that we've ever done the exact same piece of content twice that's competing in the SERP for it. So one, again, we flip this funnel upside down and we focus on the bottom funnel practice area pages first. And then when we get to top funnel content, we're just very mindful of what we're doing, and very strategic of it, so there's not a huge overlap.